Hey guys, what is up? This is Justin Uprising. Doing a little bit of late night recording right here as the first day of E3 has come to an end. Both Electronic Arts and Bethesda had their showings today, and I'm gonna be talking about both showings and what I thought overall of them. So, first we had early in the day at 1 p.m. Pacific Daytime, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We had we had EA start off basically E3. They started it off with Titanfall 2, which I thought looked pretty it looked better than the first Titanfall. I thought it looked pretty good. I also noticed that they, apart from multiplayer this year, they added a single player campaign, which was interesting because when I started watching the single player campaign trailer they showed, I had a very Green Lantern vibe from the story, from how the robot, or the Titanfall robot, whose pilot apparently died, and he didn't have much time, so he chose a new pilot. Reminds me a lot of how Jordan with the Green Lantern, the power ring, the way he got it at first. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing that I noticed. I mean, I don't think that's intentional, but I'm kind of a sucker for stories like that, which was pretty cool. And they announced it's coming October 28th to Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and PC. So we also had that cool little snippet since the first time for it was only Xbox One exclusive. We didn't have it on PS4, so that was pretty nice. And then they followed it up with their usual games. We got a little bit of Madden talk. They announced some new competitions for Madden. I mean, Madden was basically the same. They didn't spend much time on that, but it was basically the same, just improved graphics. Next up, they showed up. They had Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm sorry. I mean, it's pretty. It's pretty much the same Mass Effect. I mean, they're gonna be expanding upon the story. They didn't show much of a Mass Effect Andromeda at the E3 presentation, but we do know that the game is completely powered by their Frostbite engine, so that's something to look forward to for all the Mass Effect fans. And they also, sorry about that. They showed off their new FIFA game, which basically looks the same, except that this year they decided to add Premier League coaches into it, which I think is pretty cool, and a new story mode called The Journey, which follows, oh my god, what was his name? I think it was Alex Hunter, a player you take control of through his career, his life, from playing with friends all the way to Premier League and such. I thought it's a cool looking story mode for the game. Apparently, it's gonna be kind of similar to the NBA My Career, and the decisions you make on the field apparently are gonna be as important as the ones you make off the field. They show a little bit of how representation, agents, and all that other stuff could be involved, so that looks interesting. And EA also announced their new program, EA Originals, which is basically made to help out a lot of these smaller companies and smaller developers. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing for them to do, help out indie developers, smaller that studios making games. They showed a game called Fe, or Fee, I don't know how it's pronounced. I know it's Fe, which they showed that they had different it was like you take control of like this pup, and they have every different, like the plants and the animals have different songs to them, and you basically progress through the game like that. The game screamed out from like this year's Unravel, with like the one we got last year with Yarny. So that's something to look for people who like that type of game. And they basically closed it all up with showing a shitload of Star Wars games. I mean, Star Wars games from different developers, different companies. I mean, they basically different, not different companies, all under the EA banner, but different studios and different developers. And basically, they announced Battlefront 2, along with a few other not battle, yeah, Battlefront 2, sorry, along with some few other Star Wars games. One's a single player RPG, apparently being being made by, I believe it was Respawn Entertainment. Overall, EA, I mean, they had a very meh show. Not very much more to get into it. I mean, they didn't do bad, but they also didn't just wow people. Overall, I think they got a D minus showing. I mean, they didn't fail, but then again, they didn't bring their A game exactly. Then we had later on in the night, it finished like a few hours ago. It started at 10 p.m. Eastern time, the Bethesda showing. And they had a little bit more oomph to their step this year. Bethesda really brought out the big guns. They showing their Doom like we are expecting them to show. They showed a lot of announcing the DLC coming up. I think it was Unto the Evil with a new demon character to play as and everything. So that looked pretty cool. I mean, they obviously feel that the Doom game is doing well, and I applaud them for that. They also announced new DLCs for Fallout, which we had the workshop DLCs, the contraptions workshop, and other workshops like that, which I know a few of my friends are excited for. I mean, they like Fallout, so I mean, I personally, that's not my type of game, but I mean, if that's something that the people that like that game would like, I mean, more power to them. Another thing they showed off was Quake. They have a new Quake coming. I mean, Quake is an old game, so they thought that Quake was gonna be something that people would like pretty much. Another one that I had a few friends go crazy for, that they basically announced Skyrim remaster, Skyrim Definitive Edition, which I found pretty cool. I think I'm gonna be picking it up just because not only are they remastering the game, but they're adding mods for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One for the console versions. And I thought that looked freaking cool, so I'm pretty pumped for that. I'm gonna be playing some Skyrim when it comes out with the mods. Gotta get that Macho Man Dragon mod. I've seen so much, I gotta try it out for myself. Gotta try out the Thomas the Tank Engine mod. Just gonna go crazy with it. Another thing they announced, they're gonna be adding more. Sorry about that. They're gonna be adding more support for Elder Scrolls Online, which, sorry about that. No technical difficulties right there. Hit my headset by accident. So they're gonna be adding some more support for Elder Scrolls Online. I mean, it had a pretty rocky start to begin with. Apparently, he's gotten off his feet. Sorry. And they're gonna be level upscaling a bunch of people in the coming weeks. So if you haven't been playing that game and you're gonna get into it right now, it's a pretty good time. I mean, everybody's gonna be up. I believe it was to the same level. I'm not sure. They're gonna remove some restrictions, they said. They also announced an Elder Scrolls mobile card game, which looks pretty cool. I had a friend of mine who likes Elder Scrolls. He said it looks a lot like Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, he likes Yu-Gi-Oh too. He said if I wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh, I'll play fucking Yu-Gi-Oh. But it's like I was telling him. I mean, I was mocking. I was like, hey, look, new Elder Scrolls game. He was basically like, fuck you. But overall, I think Bethesda had a better day than EA. I mean, they also, before I forgot, they had a huge showing of Dishonored 2. At first, I was looking at the game, I was like, well, they ain't showing much. Then they ended up showing a lot. I mean, I thought the game looked amazing once they started showing the action scenes and everything. I mean, looks like the different combinations you're able to do are going to be pretty amazing. And well, that was all for Bethesda. I mean, if I'm forgetting something, I'm pretty sure some of you will let me know. I think Bethesda did pretty good. They got a solid B plus for their showing for today. I mean, they had lots to talk about. They had Morgan Webb on the pre and post shows for them, and I forgot who's the other guy. Oh my god, but basically they had a pretty good showing. I mean, Bethesda definitely won the day for today. I mean, I don't think that's much in contention about it. But now I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We have Microsoft coming up at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have Ubisoft, and we have Sony tomorrow, so that's gonna be something fun to look forward to. So I'll be letting you guys know my thoughts on those later tomorrow or early Wednesday morning. And that wraps it up for my thoughts on the first day of EA. Let me know in the comments what you thought, what you guys would like to see in the remaining days of EA. And leave a like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Justin Uprising. And that'll be all for for this for this information briefing. I mean, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the shows. So take care, guys.